God damn these electric sex bands.
Storytell each classic creation in new animation.
You there, computer man. Fix my pants.
All my friends are dead and they don't like me anymore. They've moved along, they've changed, and now they find me quite a bore. Way back then it was okay to be a little weird, but all my friends are dead.
Abandon the vessel immediately.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm internet personality Malcontent, and this is my show. Some people call it 10minutedailyvideo.net, and they're right. It's 10minutedailyvideo.net, your place for 10minutedailyvideo.net. This episode is about... Have you heard of this concept in the gay community referring to tops and bottoms? We'll talk about that in a second, but this episode is going to be about a pretty great animated show. It's got 2 seasons so far, made for Adult Swim. Reminding everyone this is an adult animation. It's basically Lois and Clark by way of fun anime. It's not 100% origin story, but there's a lot of origin story. There's some fun twists on some characters. There's some characters not used very often, like the Brain and the Gorilla that are in Doom Patrol. I like what they're doing with Jimmy Olsen. I really like Jack Quaid as Superman, and, you know, I like him as pretty much everyone he is. You know, I'm blanking on who plays Lois, but her voice actress is also really great. We're kind of in a pretty good era of voice acting, generally, I think. What were we talking about? Oh, right. Yeah. Okay, so one of the things I got accused of, which I don't think is fair. One of the things I got accused of is
Greetings there, you fuzzy muppet. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting Matt Berry from another time and space.
Interrupting Matt Berry.
Greetings, I'm interrupting Matt Berry from another time and space.
Oh, hi. Why are you talking to me?
Oh, nothing, mate. Just wanted to let you know I caught you on my radar. I've noticed you've discussed things with other famous people who are out of time and space.
Yeah, I talked to out of time and space David Lynch. Oh, man, you kind of sound like William Shatner. You notice that?
Excuse me? Calling me William Shatner will not stand.
Well, okay, at the very least, Alan Tudyk.
The Alan Tudyk comparison is fair.
You know, like Clayface? Yeah, okay, all right.
This is interrupting Matt Berry from another space and time. Signing off!
Thanks for dropping by, interrupting Matt Berry from another space and time.
Timo, sound off! Whoa! A double cannon!
Alright, so what was I talking about? Oh, the animation style is really great. This animation style, I feel like, is the closest I've liked it in a while.
Because we never talk anymore!
I've been trying. I wanted you to be there when I set off the beacon.
You what?
It feels like more professionally done Totally Spies. I was old enough when Totally Spies came out that I was aware of it, but it looked like kind of like crappy anime, and I was an adult. I could just buy anime if I wanted to. You know, so I was just like, why am I watching this kind of half-baked stuff? But I feel like, you know, Avatar: The Last Airbender is another one of these. And it actually begs the question, right? Is this homage? I actually haven't looked into the studio. I should probably do so. I'll probably have egg on my face. It's probably just a Japanese studio. Like when Scott Pilgrim Takes Off is a Japanese studio. Right. I'm glad that we're just openly working with that kind of. It took me a really long time in my life to realize that Rankin Bass.
Features and fables will storytell each classic creation in new animation. Today's presentation will be.
We're basically just outsourcing Japanese anime in various forms, including stop motion, which just sort of makes sense why I've always liked it a lot and have found it really endearing. You should watch Worthy Kids if you don't already watch Worthy Kids. He's amazing.
Let's ask Dad. Dad!
Father, how shall this imp be punished? Just give him a swift kick in the pants, eh?
One of the few people who I know is inspired by Rankin Bass, besides, weirdly, Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
Be very happy, that's certain. Not as long as your Cubans are hurting.
What were we talking about? Right, okay, yeah. Alright. So, Mr. Multiplex is a facet in Superman lore.
Get this through your head. I'm not a hypomaniac, an anthropomaniac, or a kill-tip sixum. Oh, snap. I said it, didn't I?
He's like this fifth-dimensional being. He's kind of like Batmite for Batman.
Batman's rich history allows him to be interpreted in a multitude of ways. To be sure, this is a lighter incarnation, but it's certainly no less valid and true to the character's roots as the tortured Avenger crying out for mommy and daddy.
Who's amazingly portrayed in Batman in the Bold by Paul Rubens, who of course passed fairly recently. Famously was in, Nightmare Before Christmas and Mystery Men as the Flatulator, and of course, he's Pee-wee.
Stick around here or live a little.
In Pee-wee's Playhouse, Missy Vaughn's probably just generally the top, right? Just in every relationship she's a part of.
Is that a wrench in your pocket?
Huh. That's a wrench.
It kind of makes sense. So, at any rate, what were we talking about? Superman, Lois. Oh, right. This version is basically Lois and Clark, which Lois and Clark, for what it is, it's basically like the domestic life of Superman.
Oh God. Oh, this isn't real. I don't want to know.
So Superman's relationship is very important, and I think in something like the Reeves Superman.
Good evening, Miss Lane. You really shouldn't smoke, Miss Lane.
And I admittedly haven't really watched them, but I get the gist that Superman's the top, right? In those, right?
Hi.
Hello. Clark Kent from Smallville.
Smallville?
If that's the case, that means that Lois Lane is also a top. Oh, did I say also a top?
You can ask Ms. Lane. She uses me all the time.
I meant to say is a top. You aren't paying attention, right? I think Lois Lane in the Superman universe, from my memory, I think there's a lot of top energy there, but only in relation to Clark Kent. And I think that's because she didn't know Clark was Superman. Yeah. So, what do we call that? I don't know. Superman isn't Clark Kent. Clark Kent isn't really Superman.
There's a whole room of people way better for you than I could ever be. I mean, I'm not a genius or a billionaire or a super person. I'm just me.
Now, you can say what you want about the Lois Lane from previous iterations, which I just did, clearly. The ones from the Lois Lane from My Adventures with Superman pretty early on knows that Clark Kent and Superman are synonymous. Like in Lois and Clark, how Lois is also aware that Superman is Clark Kent. But I haven't really watched that in a long time. I should probably give that a rewatch. Maybe that's worth looking at and see who's the top as well. But I don't really feel like watching all of that, and I'm already watching Glee.
Hey, Dwarf. Anyone ever tell you that you dress like one of the bait girls on To Catch a Predator? Also, I'm more talented than you.
In case you want to know, Santana's the top. What were we talking about here, though? Oh, yeah. All right. So, okay, in My Adventures with Superman, I think the top in Superman, in My Adventures with Superman.
You didn't see it coming, but it's me again, interrupting Matt Berry.
This is the worst time interrupting Matt Berry. Who could have seen this coming that you were going to interrupt me? We're not even doing rules of 3.
I
We're far
watched
too
some
deep
videos
into
and I do
episode
this
for us to,
impression
do it
better
one more
now.
time.
No one cares who you think is a top in these relationships. Okay. Goodbye!
Okay, bye.
Everyone always leaves me in the end. So why are we even doing this?
Yeah, no, yeah, who's the top? Lois Lane or Clark Kent? Obviously Lois Lane. Lois Lane broke up with Superman.
Lois, are you breaking up with me?
She broke up with Superman. It's like the ultimate top move to break up with Superman. It's Superman.
It's me, Matt Berry, to interrupt the credits once more. Rules of 3!